Hello, it's Ray again. Video number 2 today. Woo! I haven't done videos for so long. I figured there's quite a few things that I needed to address and get sorted out. So, I think it was in the August 9th issue of Vancouver. So if you live in Vancouver, you might have seen this. I have a friend of mine that works at the West Center newspaper, and I work as a photographer, and she's used quite a few photos of mine for her stories before. And I had set a post on Facebook about um, going onto the bus, and the bus driver asked, saying like, "How are you today?" And I was like, "I'm great, and you, sir?" And just how awesome that made me feel passing on the bus, because I don't pass yet. It kind of blows my mind because I feel like I do present fairly male, but everyone still thinks I'm chick. Everyone thinks I'm dyke. Woohoo. She had sent me a message about saying like how much she loved that and how good that made her feel of just in sort of my transition thing, and how she would love for me to be able to share my story. So I obviously said yes because I'm fairly open about everything, and in me like growing up, I never really knew being able to transition from female to male. I only knew about male to female. So basically, I just want to be able to put my message out there as much as I can so that I could help someone like the people on YouTube help me. So if somebody doesn't look through YouTube and they pick up this newspaper and see something that makes trigger them, just to think of it a little bit differently. Um, so she asked me to write a story about myself. I didn't want to write it myself because I'm not the strongest writer, so I contacted a friend who contacted one of her friends who writes for CBC, and him and I sat down on a bench outside in the beautiful sun with my dog and talked for about 3 hours. And he asked me lots of questions. He has a little audio recorder, wrote down lots of notes, and we got a big story. And it got published, and there's a bunch of pictures in there. So here's the article, Becoming Ray. So you can see some pictures. So this one here is December 2010. That one is in like March. That one is or March like 2011, and that one is like June 2011. Yeah, I know, right? And then that's June 2012. So this is like 1 year's difference from here to here. Should be people. Yeah. So it's my article. So and it says, in a powerful, moving story about the transition between Raylene and Ray, a well-known Vancouver photographer gives voice to the strength and courage it takes to finally be himself. So I'm going to read this for you guys, and let me know how you feel for your comments. So, it says, by Ray D. McEachern, as told to Derek Bedry. Being transgender is all about small victories. I don't take little affirmations of my gender presentation for granted. Right now, they are few and far between. My friends, the ones who knew me before, real friends, the ones who stuck by me, sometimes let slip on a pronoun and let out a she, despite their best intentions. At the grocery store, clerks call me ma'am, and because I'm a gay trans man, I'm challenged by the fact that when I do pass for male, I still present on the feminine side. The type of man I'm attracted to isn't usually attracted to the physical type, male body type I embody, let alone my female genitalia and the breasts found under my baggy rock band t-shirts. That's cruel irony. Shooting yourself in the thigh with a needle full of testosterone once a week sends your sex drive through the roof. I, that is, girl me, used to be a guy magnet. People tell me that she was beautiful. I see that, but it's someone else in those before glamour shots I keep on my phone for fun. I like showing her off. She's a drag queen, made up and teased and airbrushed. When that kind of attraction comes to me for who I really am, it won't be a minor victory. I was born Raylene Dawn McEachern in Kelowna on August 29th, 1989. My mother and I always had an extremely strained relationship. She never wanted me to leave the house with enough makeup on. She always wanted me to present myself the way society expects females to, and I had bad acne as a teen, so Mom would say, "Why don't you put on some more cover-up? Some more blush? Why don't you try some mascara?" I know she thought I was beautiful, but under that constant pressure, I never felt it. Telling her I wasn't sure I even belonged in a female body seemed out of the question. As soon as I was able, I fled Kelowna to Vancouver in 2007. Still living as female, I got into film school with hard work and a full scholarship. While honing my passion for photography, I made friends. I was around like-minded people, but I wasn't the release I was hoping for. I didn't quite know what yet, but something didn't fit. I didn't fit. I was lost, hiding in the shadows. You were as sweet as bunny ears, but there was no depth, says my friend Kelsey, who held my hand for half an hour as I tremblingly worked up the nerve to take my first testosterone injection. You weren't a girl anyone would lean on. You never showed an opinion or an original thought. I didn't see a person worth knowing until the mask started coming off, she said. It wasn't until 2010 that I started poking around on the internet and came across trans videos on YouTube, finding huge community support on there. Things people were saying in the videos resonated with me deeply. When one YouTuber said he'd always imagined growing up what he'd look like as a man, it clicked. Soon I cut my hair, started donning boy clothes, and got a transition doctor. I came out to my father in August last year. It made sense, he said. I was always his tomboy. I always did like playing with trucks. I never saw you as my daughter. I just saw you as Ray, he said. But don't tell your mom yet. Nevertheless, when I went back to Kelowna last Christmas, there was no hiding my new appearance. My mom said nothing. Maybe she chalked it up to normal college-age experimentations. I don't know. But the night before I was to leave for Vancouver again, I resolved to tell her she had a son. I was in my pajamas, and she was having a last drink before bed. Shaking from the anxiety, I sat down on the other end of the couch, long couch next from her, our feet together in the middle. Mom, I stammered, Mom, I am transgender. I feel I've always been a boy. Silence. Finally, she says, you mean like Cher's daughter? Or son? Like how she was Chastity and now she's Chaz? We talked until the initial shock subsided, hers and mine. Mine because she wasn't angry. She didn't yell or curse me or disown me or ask what she'd done wrong. She was worried about what I'd have to go through, afraid the social and the physical rigors of the transition would be too dramatic for me. When I explained I knew I was making the right choice, she told me she'd always love me and support me no matter what. That release overwhelmed me. We held each other for a long time and cried. Now my mother and I talk much more freely. I can be myself around her without fearing judgment. She asks questions, wants to be updated on my progress, and she's even done a lot of her own research. I visited home about 2 weeks ago, and when I walked in the door, she joyfully exclaimed, "Oh, there he is." That felt great. She still struggles with pronouns, but coming out has really strengthened our relationship. She gained a son, and I gained a mother. Since that fateful Christmas, I've been blessed during my public coming out with massive support both online and in the real world, partly because I no longer feel the need to surround myself with the people who don't accept me. Now I see your courage, your strength, and so many qualities I respect so much, says Kelsey. Your confidence has increased. You seem so grown up, not that lost little kid you used to be. You share your opinions now, you get respect, and you're not afraid to show yourself. Since you started transitioning, you're becoming a complete person. The road to a complete transition is long and hard. If I nick a vein in my leg when shooting my testosterone, I can give myself a heart attack. It could be years before I qualify for expensive top surgery to remove my breasts so I can enjoy the beach the way others do. Bathrooms suck. I get looks no matter which gendered bathroom I enter, if I'm lucky enough to even be spared hateful jibes. My mother was right to worry that it would be easier not to live this way. Tiny things cisgendered people barely notice can make or ruin my day. I rejoice in every new chin hair. I'm stung by every thoughtless denial of my male presentation. But there's no life in hiding. I have to live day by day as me, whoever I discover that to be. I'm meeting him in increments, with each passing moment, or perhaps with each moment I'm passing. The other day on the bus driver said, "Welcome aboard, sir," as my ticket popped out of the fare box validated. Small victories. I live for those. So, yeah, that's the article in the West Ender, and it's online at the West Ender, wevancouver.com, so you can look it up if you want to read it yourself. But that's me. So, yeah, and 9-minute video. Ending it now.